What's up? So we got another message from Granny. I didn't really complete my thought last message from Granny, but my condolences to the people who have lost their grandmas, and you no longer get that guidance physically anymore. So I'm gonna do these readings a little bit more often, more monthly, instead of periodically, whenever, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, was grandma babies, you know what I'm saying? Really, I'm a grandma baby, honestly. But my grandma not dead, but we not on speaking terms. She got to do some healing, you know what I'm saying? She carrying generational curses. So I don't really, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So this is a message from the grannies that was our rock, you know what I'm saying? The information that we needed, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes and then people think about this, just because blood don't mean nothing, you know what I'm saying? And just because they're not your granny, your real granny don't make them your granny. So if an energy come out or a spirit come out and you're like, oh, that's not my grandma, but I really saw her or him, her like that, you know what I'm saying? Then take that energy, because that person saw you as a grandchild, you know what I'm saying? So take what resonates, leave what isn't in this reading. This is going to be maternal energy. I know I'm about to say grandfather, and if y'all want that type of energy, I'm going to put that on the masculine side. I'm going to figure it out for y'all. But we finna do messages from Granny, okay? Power Win messages from Granny, Grandma. Somebody said Nana. Nana so bougie. That's probably why my granny mad. I'm calling her Granny. I should have said Nana. My grandma ran, I think, some of her kids, because that's my step grandma, my step great grandma. They call her Nana. Okay, so this was coming out bougie. Hold on, I really want to tell y'all that message, but I gotta, but Spirit said I got to. So I'm gonna say this. Your grandma is advising you. Let me see, hold on. What's that? Your grandma is advising you to pick wisely in love, honey. Because what Granny is saying, and I'm getting chills, what Granny is saying is, just because it looked like the marriage or the relationship was happy don't mean that it actually was happy. You know what I'm saying? Your grandma is telling you you need to get a good look at who you want to be with. Granny is saying that somebody moving fast. Okay, somebody is so quick, you so ready to say my husband. You so ready to say my man. You know what I'm saying? You so ready to do something that you're not ready to handle. You know what I'm saying? Because you're picking situations that's not benefiting you. You're coming out as a wannabe instead of her. Okay? Him. You're not coming out as being that. Because I'm also getting, if you're a man here, you're steady picking the wrong woman. You're steady thinking that whoever you're laying down with, and just because they doing their thing when they laying down with you, it seems like they doing what they supposed to do. Unbeknownst to you, they got bad intentions in their heart. They was dropping the, the booty do down, because it was something they was trying to pick up. It's something, because a lot of people don't realize that some men are not a woman's type, but a woman will make you feel like she's your type. I don't want that to go over nobody's head. Let's get into Ruby Rose and Drewski. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just put the names together in the search bar and look it up. Ruby Rose made Juicy think that that's what it was. Ruby Rose, and then when she went on that date with that screamer dude, Neon, DDG, Ruby Rose knows who she is. She knows how to play that role. And it comes back, this person is coming out as a high priestess, okay? But this deck has 2 high priestesses and 1 fortune teller. And That's a lot, right? Because those are different feminine energies, and that's something that you need to understand, masculine and feminine. You need to understand where you are. Are you a Jezebel feminine energy, or are you a Ruth feminine energy, or are you that lady feminine energy? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Are you that lady? You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go see that lady about that, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out, what lady are you talking to, masculine? Are you talking to a lady that got a relationship with God? Are you talking to a lady that know how to manipulate men? Or are you talking to a lady that she don't know what she doing? All she know is what her parents taught her. You know what I'm saying? Because the all my parents taught her lady, and the I got a relationship with God lady, they're very similar. Okay, they're very similar, but you have to look at the habits. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at what they dabbling in. You know what I'm saying? Because all I know is my family. She may come from a group of women that they may not be hoes, but they definitely are spenders. You know what I'm saying? They definitely come with a lot, and they definitely don't see nothing wrong with it, because that's the women in their family. Do you see what I'm saying? You got some women that they're good women, but all they know is poverty, because that's what they come into. Masculine, what do you have to offer? What can you do what can you do as a masculine? You are here to lead. Okay? Are you going to show that Jezebel, hey, not over here if you want to stay over here? Are you going to show her, hey, I see what you got going on, but you got to trust me? Or are you going to go with, hey, you know what you're doing, I know what I'm doing, let's set goals? That, again, 3 different women. Again, 3 different scenarios. Okay? If you don't have that, if you don't know all the answers to what I just asked, if you don't feel like you have all the details to gather up a conclusion to what I just said, you don't even need to be serious with this person. You need to still be dating. Back in the day, courting this person. Look at what's looking at me. You can't even see. I'm talking about, look at it. Queen of Wands. You dealing with a Jezebel. A lot of y'all are dealing with Jezebels. Let me tell y'all, feminine, a lot of y'all are Jezebels. So you dealing with masculines that are players, pimps. They don't see you as nothing but what you are. A lot of times, and I don't know, everybody ain't on the same side of TikTok. A freaking mayor, a running mayor was degrading and chasing after women. Now, were they dressed like, you know what I'm saying? Were they dressed like Jezebels? No. I didn't see nobody that was looking too rassy. I saw good looking women. You know what I'm saying? Good looking black women. But the way he talked to them, and the way they responded, and what they said he said, how he treated them. You can't, you know what I'm saying? You can't do nothing about how a person treats you, but you can do something about how you presenting yourself, Jezebels. If that's what you feel like you identify with, because it was a point in my life, and it's still times where I'm like, you in a Jezebel trying to get your spirit, the Jezebel trying to take over. Hold up, bag it back. You have to be able to do that with yourself. It's called controlling your mind. It's called controlling your thoughts. You have to figure out, the lady that has the relationship with God knows how to control her thoughts. She knows how to say, you know what, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not even going to worry about that. I can't even deal with that right now. She knows that she can't respond emotionally. You know what I'm saying? She knows that rationality takes time. You know what I'm saying? So your grandma really tea as hell. I see why your grandma's sitting down looking pretty. Because your grandma really a queen. Real shit. Your ancestors are really, they on point. If you're listening to them, you on point too. But if you're not, you're not. It's okay to be still figuring it out. I ain't trying to talk at y'all. I'm just letting you know how your granny coming to me. Your granny coming and dropping gems. I'm respecting it. Shit. Granny is saying you need to do some introspection. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Temperance is coming out. Sagittarius could be significant here. Sagittarius is very significant because the Queen of Wands. Sagittarius, Leo. I started to say Aquarius. Aquarius, you are in there as well. Aries. Okay. You wondering why you going through shit. You wondering why every time it seems like everything is about to end and everything is about every time you think your happy tale ending, your fairy tale ending is happening, some shit happen and it get destroyed. And it's because it was never a fairy tale. It was always a horror story. It was always some bullshit. You just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't make the right decision. Y'all using feelings to make decisions. You're not using the facts. I'm going to tell y'all one thing. When I was 21, 22, I was dealing with this dude, right? He was dealing with me while his baby mama was pregnant, right? She was about to have a baby. I didn't care. Okay? I didn't care because at the same time, I had just had my baby. Me and my baby daddy was off of terms, right? I didn't care. I was just like, we're not serious. We're not going to be serious. And at that point where we got on the agreement, we agreed with each other that it wasn't going to be serious. I should have knew better because the agreement happened too easy. We saw eye to eye too easy. You know what I'm saying? As time went on, as you can imagine, yeah, we got deeper. Things got deeper. Okay? But one thing that was always certain was we was gonna stop talking. We always knew that. So every time we start talking, it'd be awkward. You know what I'm saying? We just always used to, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways. Always. You know what I'm saying? But I said that to say this. The soul tie is real. And that soul tie will fuck your mind up. See, that lady, she know that. That's why that lady is celibate. Because that lady know that once she have, that connection with a person, regardless if they on bad terms or good terms, you always gonna get tea on that person. And if you're dealing with a person that doesn't understand that, you might be dealing with a person that has open portals within their spirit, within their aura. Okay? Because then at that point, let me see what my time is. 10 minutes. I'm doing great. At that point, you're dealing with somebody who they're having mixed emotions for different people. They don't know what they feeling because they're letting too many people have access. It's a lot of possession going on. Y'all saw how I tripped up on my words? When they having a thought, another thought is coming in. They're having racing thoughts. Somebody could be ADHD. They don't know how. Somebody here could be OCD as well. Somebody here could clean to compensate. Okay, they don't have it's no relaxation in their life. They stay busy, right? So you have to be able, you see how I was able to break that shit down? It's because I'm watching. A lot of people don't have that common sense. They be like, oh yeah, he texted me today. We ain't talk about shit. He came over today. We ain't talk about shit. Y'all, my baby daddy was fucked up in his mind. I didn't know because I was so just, my man. I was just so... He was attractive at that time. I had the best version of my baby daddy. Now, he done ran down. So I was just looking at him. I was just looking at, he look good. We look good together, etc. We made a beautiful child, etc. I was just looking at that. I wasn't looking at the fact that he don't talk. He don't say too much about nothing. He keep all his emotions bottled up. So it's 9 times out of 10, he don't even know what he going through because he ain't never just sat down. He packing his shit down, smoking, drinking, partying, doing whatever he want to do. Just playing the game, doing stupid shit. He's steady packing his shit up. His mind full of shit. When it come down to you expressing your emotions, he don't want to connect to your emotions because he can't connect to his. Y'all have to realize, masculines, you have to realize that shit that you packing up be shit that the Lord be giving you to address. That's tea. Let me get these last cards so I can get up off of here. This is going to be a 30-minute read. It's going to take all day to post this. High priestess. Let me tell y'all something. You keep missing out on the girl you're supposed to be with, the man you're supposed to be with, because they force you to do the work. They force you to unpack shit that you don't want to unpack, and that was fucking deep. Yo, granny, man, I could sit and talk to your granny at the kitchen table all fucking day. Man, on my mama, your granny gonna be, I promise you, me and your granny would have so much to talk about, I swear. Oh, shit. Hold on. Some of y'all don't get salty, baby. We got the king of meals. real, some of y'all steady throwing good men away. Y'all grannies is saying that it be men that they be direct. It's like spiritually, on a spiritual level, your energy be attracting certain men. Your granny be happy for a certain opportunities for you to be a man, and granny be mad because you be throwing it away. You don't even be thinking, you just be doing other shit, distracted by the bullshit, and you just be throwing opportunities away. Back of the deck to a pleasure. So granny coming out and saying you worried about the wrong shit. That's why you going through shit. That's why shit ain't falling through. That's why they taking your money. That's why they taking your energy. Shit not rolling through. So your granny, ooh, baby, this whole reading was tea already. Granny came in. Granny came in. So y'all like, share, subscribe, and I'm gonna see y'all later. Let me go ahead and get ready for pile 2. I'm gonna use the same deck. I ain't gonna use a different one because this is coming in. Spirit, cleanse this deck, cleanse this energy. We trying to tap into pile 2's energy. When I downloaded this image for pile 2, it said that she was a professor, so I can only imagine what's about to be said. Pile 2, let's get into it. Something about the family off top, whether it be the family that you created or the family that you're a part of. Something's trying to hang on. Hold on. What's hanging on? Creativity. Your creativity is hanging on. Hold on. You hanging on. You hung on to your creativity. Hold on. It's coming. So, let me... Granny is saying childhood wounds is what's stopping your creativity. If you're wondering why you having creativity blocks, why you can't continue to do something that you feel like is for you, she's saying that childhood wounds is keeping you from doing that. She's saying that when you think about ideas, you doubt your ideas. And those ideas be coming from spirit. But because you're so used, due to family trauma, childhood trauma, because you're so used to denying yourself, you deny yourself the good ideas and you go forward with bad ideas or ideas that don't make as much money. Spirit is also saying, your granny, is also saying through spirit that you drinking is not helping the situation. We got Big Mama coming out. So she's saying you don't want to put in the work for real. You don't want to put in the inner work. Somebody said that you escaped through cleaning. So your granny said you doing your house is sparkling clean. It ain't nothing else to clean. It ain't nothing else to do. You need to sit down and you need to unpack what you done been through. Spirit is saying you need to drink some water. And then it's something about your friendships, or it's something about it's definitely something about your past. So I'm gonna say this too, because I don't know what quote it came through, but it says you can tell how a person moving in life by the people around them. Are they still around the same friends that they grew up with? And basically it was saying the people who were around the same friends that they grew up with, 9 times out of 10, they haven't changed just as well as their friend group hasn't changed. You get with the people that they didn't move past their friends. They may still be talking to the people they grew up with, but maybe not as much. But their new friends are friends from either their job or friends for either their new lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they've changed or they've grown. But then you get somebody who, maybe they don't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? You can tell they're in the midst of changing, in the midst of finding themselves. That's where you need to be, Power 2. You need to be in the midst of changing. A lot of people cannot go with you where you're going. That's something I had to figure out. I'm praying to God saying, I pray that you give this to me for this person and that person. God saying, I don't think they're going to be on your path. I don't think they're going to be there. You might need to focus on you, love. God's steady coming in. I'm like, God, they're my family. Oh, you're not reading your Bible. You're not reading your Bible. I read my Bible, and damn near everybody had to leave what they knew to become who God knew them to be first, right? Your life, okay, so y'all could have been in the last night's reading where I said you think you know what you're doing, but you don't. Yeah. A wise man knows that he knows nothing at all. Hello. Some of y'all need to know that. Two of swords. You steady trying to come up with solutions, trying to make shit spark. Ain't nothing sparking. And ain't nothing moving the way you need to move unless you figure out the problem on why it can't move, right? It's your emotions. It's how you view. It's like, okay, I saw on TikTok a woman was explaining how you can tell whose mom was a side bitch and you could tell whose mom was a main. You know, like I'm talking about a main, like, I don't know how to explain it. I say a side bitch will stay with their man even though they're cheating. A woman will get with a man even though he's cheating on his wife, and it still expect him to be faithful to her even though he was cheating on his wife. See what I'm saying? Versus the woman who is like, you can get out of my face, and like the dad is still, hey, I know you don't like me, but I still like you. I still want to be good to you. Y'all, I'm not even on cap. My mama, she was a bad bitch internally, but she really was just as regular as everybody else's mama. No cap. And it was men that was and steady did treat me like they child because they was fucking with my mama that heavy. I'm not even playing no pedophile stuff, no nothing. Like, to this day, are you good? If they seen me, are you good? How your daughter? I know you, like, dead ass. They not my daddy. But that's how it was, you know, main character energy. It don't even matter if she got a man. Do you hear me? Y'all not hearing me. It don't matter if she even got a man. They're still making sure I'm good. Still making sure she good. If she need anything, she know that she can call them. Right? And there's just that on that. People who know, like even people I don't even know, they be like, so-and-so your mama? Yeah, she is. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So this is like, it's a difference in energy. Spirit is saying, through your granny saying through spirit, that you real life need to figure out what's your energy. No cap. Because some of y'all think y'all giving main character energy, but y'all not. Y'all wondering why the hoes is winning. It's because the hoes is know who they are. You can't tell no hoe she a hoe. She gonna be like, yeah, and hide your man. You know what I'm saying? Main character energy. It's a lot of times it be the ones that got their nose up. That, you know what I'm saying? They picking the wrong men. They steady in relationships that don't benefit them. They steady going 50-50 when they going 50-50. They steady got a roommate thinking it's serious. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no 50-50. I'm telling you, I grew up with women that they men, if they man ain't know nothing else, they knew that they had to bring that money for them, that money on. And the women in my family that, you know, they let a man run over their life, shit, they still doing it. They still not happy. But again, it's a difference. You got to figure out what woman you are. You got to figure out what woman you want to be with. You know what I'm saying? Your granny is saying this is all stuff you figure out by yourself. You don't do it in the company of others. You had, these are thoughts, these are conversations that you have with yourself, with God. This is stuff that you have to figure out for yourself. You know, I always said, oh, I wanted a man to take care of me. I want a man to do this. I want a man to do that. Just so he can walk over me. It's going to be reciprocal. You know what I'm saying? You going to give. You going to do your duties. I'm going to do my duties. I'm going to reward you for what you do. You going to reward me for what I do. We're going to love each other, and that's how it's going to go. It's a difference. Your granny working on it though. Your granny, she trying to put you in the right mindset. If you hear you trying to be in the right mindset, it don't go unnoticed. Understand that. I know what I'm saying may seem harsh, but that's how grannies talk to you. I ain't even hate talking to granny, especially when I know I ain't did what I'm supposed to do. Definitely, especially when I know she finna fuss. Like, bruh, just leave me alone. Leave me alone. And that's probably how y'all be. Some of y'all are just building up the tolerance to take hard conversations. It was a time in my tarot life where, at the beginning of my tarot life, where I was just clicking out of readings. Soon as shit get difficult, soon as I want to cry, I'm just clicking out of readings. But then it got to a point where I'm just like, shit, you right. Shit, you right. All right. I'm finna work on it. And then here I am, healed, helping y'all work on it. That shit difficult. I'm not even gonna hold you. Shit is so difficult. Even to this day, I be getting epiphanies that make me cry, and I be like, why would you do that, spirit? But those are tears. You cry as a child, but you don't know why you crying. You know, you don't say, I'm crying because I feel like they don't love me enough. You don't cry. I cry because I feel like they not paying me enough attention. I feel like they making me somebody that I'm not. You don't know why you crying. You just know you're sad. You just know things are not what you want. That's why when people have kids, they carry on the generational curse, because what they teach their kids based off of what they was taught. Real parenting is analyzing the way you was taught and figuring out, was it good or bad? Am I going to whoop my child for every fucking thing? Or am I going to whoop her for the worst shit and then tap her for the shit she knows she ain't supposed to be doing? And then the things that it's just a simple conversation, just have a simple conversation. People who have one way of parenting usually are not as good parents as they think they are. But this is, again, if that's you analyzing shit. If you understand and you understanding this whole conversation, then you understand that you doing the work. If you like, yup, you right, you doing the work. If you like, you not wanting to do the work. Just like I said, I don't want to talk to Granny. I know she gonna be fussing because I know I did some shit I wasn't supposed to do. Facts. Same shit I tell my daughter. Like, you can't even get mad I tapped you because you already know you was wrong. You don't want that tap next time, so you're not gonna do it no more. As adults, we still get tapped. We get penalties through money. You know what I'm saying? You late on this, a penalty. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you making so much money? Tax. More tax. Help society if you making that much money. But you know that we ain't gonna get into that. But your granny is really like trying to tap in with you. Like, I feel like a lot of people want to be in relationships, but the first relationship that you should have should be with yourself. One thing that I can say about myself, even though, like, socially, like, at the beginning of my life, like, when I was in high school and shit like that, I feel like, you know, I socially wasn't good, but at the same time, I understood people, you know. Like, when I came home, I was home. I didn't have friends that came over my house. I was able to unpack who I really liked in school. I was able to unpack what teachers that I feel like, you know, they weren't helping me or they was making it harder for me. I was able to unpack shit. But, again, that was spiritual blessing. Like, that, some people don't have that type of home life school balance, you know. At a young, like, when I moved, like, when I got my first apartment at 18, like, I really, like, I was, like, kind of doing it, and I didn't realize it because I was so I was just so stressed out of work, go home, work, go home, work, go home. I ain't really just enjoy being, you know, free. You know what I'm saying? A few years later, I ended up pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Now, because my child is finna be older, it's like now I can have I can figure out how to get more of a work life personal outside of being a mom, outside of being an employee, outside of my hobbies type of person. Because a lot of times I'm a nurse, doctor. Whatever I do that I feel like I only did it because I wanted everybody to understand the title, everybody to respect the title. What happens when the title leaves? What happens when you're tired of the title? You know what I'm saying? You have to figure out how to be you without nothing else and thinking that's good enough, you know? That's a lesson that I had to learn, still learning, you know what I'm saying? Like, expressing who I am, not being ashamed of what I know, what I do, how people feel about what I know and how I do. Like, being yourself is what attracts your most authentic person. You know what I'm saying? People like me, I like relationships where I'm laughing. I like relationships where I can pretty much easily think what you're thinking. We need to be on one accord. Avatar. Like, we need to be on Avatar type shit. We on one accord. Something wrong with you. You don't even have to tell me. I know. You know what I'm saying? You thinking about me, I already know I'm about to text you. I like situations where we vibing like that. You know what I'm saying? It's on a spiritual level. We feeling each other. Nipsey Hussle mama said something that was key at the funeral. She said, when they told me my son died, I already knew it because I felt it so deeply in my spirit. She felt the cord cut. Because as a mother, as a person that is deeply connected, I want to be connected to people that feel me on that level. You know what I'm saying? Those are the connections that I want. So yeah, if you want that, you got to do the work for that. So y'all like, share, subscribe. Y'all grannies came with the tea. She did not come to play. And I'm gonna see y'all later.